This Loser Donald segment is about how Donald Trump totally screwed up his brand. NBC News looked into this. There's numbers coming up in a little bit, but first they explain overall. Trump was often synonymous with luxury and success, a high-end retreat for the actual wealthy, and aspirational vehicle for those who craved wealth. But they explained that today, for some of the affluent elite he once courted, Trump is more associated with populist anger and allegations of misogyny, racism, and more. So, as they're about to show you in the numbers, it's really hurting his business. Oops. He mainly seems to have gotten into this to help his business, but since he's a knucklehead and incompetent, he did the exact opposite. Now, as usual, the Trump family doesn't get it. Eric Trump, his son, says, the Trump brand right now is the hottest brand in the world right now. If you by hot, you mean no one wants to touch it, that's kind of true. So now let's give you the numbers. A new online poll by Morning Consult found that 40% of voters said Trump's campaign made them less likely to buy Trump-related products, and almost half, 46%, said they wouldn't stay at a Trump-branded hotel. Even more, 63% said they wouldn't want to play golf on Trump's links. By the way, this is also true of me. I know that, of course, I don't like Donald Trump. I do a segment called Loser Donald, okay? And I know that if it was just me, that would be anecdotal. But the idea now of staying in a Trump hotel is unthinkable. I mean, I didn't like the guy before, but I once stayed at a Trump hotel, and I didn't think twice about it. He does have one of the few things he actually runs as a business is golf courses. I suppose I mainly play pitch and putt, but I could have considered going to now, out of the question. It's out of the question for almost everyone I know. But it's not just me, my friends, and my subgroup. As you can see here, it's a giant chunk of the American population now saying, no way, it's embarrassing to enter anything that says Trump on it. There's now a group of people in his properties in New York saying that they want to either get their money back or move out because they're embarrassed to have family and friends over. The building says Trump on it. Now, more data. According to Foursquare, which tracks visits for more than 50 million users, stops to Trump-branded hotels, casinos, and golf courses dropped 16.5% in September compared with a year ago. So now there's some data behind it. Of course, Trump would have more hard data on how much revenue and profits he's lost, but he's not very forthcoming with things like income tax returns or any actual data. So now we go to another expert in the field, Daniel Nedich. He's a realty president in New York, and he says, before Trump's bid, we would always see a constant flow of buyers who would demand to live in Trump buildings. It went from being a brand that was sought out to a brand that people are turning away from. Now, he explains that one of the reasons is that in New York, there's a lot of high-end property, and people from outside the country come and want to buy it. And in the old days, Trump's seat had a certain allure, even more so internationally than he did here at home. But now, all of the wealthy folks from Latin America are like, no, we do not want to live in anything named Trump. All of the wealthy folks from oil-rich countries in the Middle East, no, we do not want to live in anything named Trump. And the list goes on and on. So he has alienated a huge chunk of his consumers and his clients, and that is really bad for business. Now, if he was a savvy businessman, he would have understood that, but he's not. That's why he's gone bankrupt 6 times, because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Finally, we go to David Loeb, who's a hotel analyst. He says, Trump has a lot of ardent followers, but the demographic of his followers are not the ones that stay in very expensive luxury hotels. Damn. In fact, even Trump agrees, because the next luxury hotel that they're releasing for the first time will not be named Trump. It'll be named Scion, because now the Trump brand is too damaged. And who did that? Loser Donald.